I've been out of town, so we didn't get to do this in any other service, but for some reason, this just feels right. We have a couple thousand people in here tonight, and I want to enlist your prayers, okay? Can I ask you to pray for a week? Yes. Good, I'm going to give you one prayer request, okay? We are getting ready to do 2 series starting next week. We're going to do a 5-week series called Prepare, because I think God wants to do some things in our church, in every kid and teenager and marriage in this town that he has never done. And so we're going to talk about the word. We're going to take 5 straight weeks and go over the word. What does it mean to prepare? Every time God was going to do something great in somebody's life, he prepared them, they took some steps, and then they did it. So Kurt and I were talking about this week, and he said something about this earlier. He goes, I got the perfect passage. And he sent me, like in 30 minutes, he sent me a full outline, okay? And I read this thing, and I said to John Valinsky, I said, this is unbelievable. I can't wait to hear this. That's going to happen next week, okay? So we're going to take 5 straight weeks to prepare, and really the whole theme of this, how do you prepare yourself for God to do a great work in your life and through your life, okay? That's going to be followed by a complete change, and I just want you to be praying. We're going to change almost everything about this church in mid-September, okay? And we are going to try to lengthen our worship, so we're going to change our worship, okay? We are going to change teaching styles, and we're going to do expository teaching, verse by verse, chapter by chapter, right through the book of 2 Timothy, and we're going to change teaching styles, okay? We're going to change our look. We're all going to grow Duck Dynasty beards and see how that works. I'm kidding about that one. We're going to change some of the things we emphasize around here. We are going to change the location. We've got this. We're adding a location north. Our verse of the year is Revelation, where God says, behold, I'm going to do a new thing. And we think God wants to do some brand new things. And I want to get a couple thousand people praying for that for 7 straight days. Y'all up for that? Okay? Because it's stuff like we've never been. That will be followed by this expository series on the book of 2 Timothy called The Freedom Project, where Paul tries to free Timothy from all kinds of stuff. That will lead to a massive deal in October where we free girls who were sex trafficked and enslaved. Okay? That'll also follow by the first week in November. Okay, the first week in November is Billy Graham's 95th birthday. 2 years ago, the Graham organization contacted us and said, would you help us with the My Hope Project? And they have put together a 45-minute video detailing Billy Graham's life that's an evangelistic video, and we are going to show it all in every single neighborhood the same week, the first week in November, which means we are going to print thousands of yard signs, and if you're willing to have a home, we're going to try to get one home on every street with a yard sign out front of it, and on someday that week, everybody in that neighborhood will go to celebrate Billy Graham's birthday at that house, and they'll hear the gospel of Christ. It could be the largest evangelistic thing in the history of Northern California, all on the same week. Okay? And if you'd be praying about this, I'm not telling the rest of the services this, because I'm just going to ask you to pray. If you'd be praying about this, we are trying to get Billy Graham's grandson, William Graham, here the following week to preach. Okay? So just kind of a long-range, no real big dreams prayer request time. But it's going to be incredible. Pray for Kurt, because he's going to kick off. I just think some people are like, oh, wow, God's done working. He's done something. I think God hasn't even started working in this region yet, but we got to get prepared for what he's doing. Does that make sense?